Hello. That first video we talked about slope-intercept form, which is y is equal to mx plus b. This is called slope-intercept form. It's called slope-intercept form because we have a slope m and a y-intercept b. Now we're going to talk about point-slope form, where you have a point and a slope. Point-slope form is y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x1. Point-slope form is given a point, which is our x1 comma y1, given one point on a line, and given the slope of the line, we can come up with the whole equation for the line. Let me give you an example. Let's say we have some line, we don't know what equation it is, but let's say it's just some line here. And we know, okay, here, let's say 3 and 4, here's a point on the line, 3 comma 4, which is the same thing as our x1 comma y1. All right. At this point, 3 comma 4, that lies on this line, all right? And we don't know anything else, but we're given that the slope is equal to, let's say, 2. So we know m is equal to 2 and x1, y1 is equal to 3, 4. Given a point and given a slope, we can come up with the equation for the line. So take a look. The equation for the line will be y minus our y1, which is a 4, is equal to the slope 2 times x minus our x1, which is a 3. So that I get y minus 4 is equal to 2x minus 6 when I distribute the 2 into this term and that term. I add 6 to both sides, so I get y is equal to 2, y plus 2 is equal to 2x, okay? I subtract that 2 over to get it y equals mx plus b format. So that means I have y is equal to 2x minus the 2. So here's our line. This is this line right here. Y is equal to 2x minus 2. It's a line of slope 2 that goes through the point 3, 4. Y is equal to 2x minus 2. Notice that this implies that it has a y-intercept minus 2. That means I didn't draw it to scale. I didn't draw it appropriately for this to really be a line of slope 2, okay, that goes through this point. Its y-intercept should be down here, like that. But my artistic abilities are not that great, but my mathematical abilities are second to none, and I'll prove it to the world. So stay in tune for that. But going back to drawing the equation, over here is where it should be intercepting the y. Where is it intercepting the x, you ask? Well, that's when y is equal to 0, because take a look, it's at 0. So our x-intercept is whenever we set the function equal to 0 and solve for x. So I've added 2 to both sides, and I divide by 2, and I get x is equal to 1. So this point right here is at 1. Here's 2, and here's 3. So that is point-slope form. Now, recall that in slope-intercept form, that's the only time we can know that that is the slope, is if we have it in slope-intercept form. Remember that the general form of a line, ax plus by plus some c is equal to 0, we may be presented with a situation like this, and then we may be expected to be able to come up with the equation for the line. So let's say you're presented with 3y plus 2x minus 1 is equal to 0. Notice that this is an equation for a line because this is the general form of a line. However, the slope cannot be assumed to be 2 because it's not in y equals mx plus b format. That is the only time you can assume that the coefficient in front of the x really signifies the slope. So take a look. I subtract 2x and negative 1 from both sides through y. So this is equal to negative 2x plus a 1 now on this side. I divide both sides by 3, and now I'll get into y equals mx plus b format. Now the slope, m, is really that number in front of the x because it's in y equals mx plus b format. So the slope is really 2/3 right here. Now, we know how to deal with a case where we've been presented a general form of the line, and we can find the slope and the linear equation. Now, what if we were just given the information that we have 2 points on the line, and then we're supposed to come up with the equation for the line? Let's say we have 2 points. Let's say -2, 3, and 1, 5. These are 2 points on the line. Okay? We'll draw our situation out. We're at 1, 2, this is -2, 1, 2, 3, this is 3. I put a dot. Okay, and then I'm at 1, I go up 4, 5, I'm over here, I put a dot. Okay? So these 2 dots are connected by a line right here. But we don't know what the slope is, nor do we know what the y-intercept is or the x-intercept. We're supposed to come up with an equation for the line, okay? We can do so very simply. First thing we do is we can find the slope of the line by using the slope formula. M, which is slope, is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Our y2 is 5. Our y1 is 3. Our x2 is 1. Our x1 is -2. This reduces to 2 all over 1 plus a 2, because negative minus is plus. So then I get 2/3 is the slope. Okay. Now we know our slope. Do we know the equation for the line? Well, we have a slope and we have a point. We actually have a pair of points. We only need one of them, and we can activate our point slope form, which remember is y minus y1 is equal to m times the quantity x minus x1. So y minus a y1, we get to pick either one, all right? But once you pick a y from one of these, you have to pick the corresponding x from what you picked. So y, let's say, is 5. Our y1 is equal to the slope, 2/3, times the quantity x minus this 1. Now I'm gonna, once I do the algebra and put it into y equals mx plus b form, I'll have the equation for the line that passes through these 2 points. So now I have y minus 5 is equal to 2/3 x minus 2/3. Then I add a 5 to both sides, bring it over here. I get y is equal to 2/3 x minus a 2/3 plus a 5. So I get y is equal to 2/3 x. And then these have to have a common denominator, so this is -2 plus 15 all over 3. So this is equal to 2/3 x. And this is a plus 13 all over 3. This is our equation for the line. Y is equal to 2/3 x plus 13 over 3. Now we know what to do if we're just given 2 points on the line, how to come up with the equation for the line. We find the slope, and then we use point slope form.